So for the past 2.5 years, we here at MMA Fighting have worked very hard to get one interview and one interview only. Unfortunately, for 2.5 years, we struck out. But tonight, my friends, I'm here to tell you that our luck has changed because we have finally located Miss Gina Carano. After 2.5 years, August of 2009, Gina, I've been working to just get 5 minutes of your time. Yet, like some kind of roadrunner, you've been so elusive. And I finally tracked you down. We're here in some weird office in Las Vegas. Here you are in the flesh in front of me. Where have you been for the last 2.5 years?
I can't tell if that's excitement or bitter. Is it excitement?
I'd say maybe a little bit of both.
Oh my gosh, look at you. I've been, I don't know, I've been filming a movie and just, living life, kind of getting to know myself a little bit better.
Has this sort of exodus? No, I will get the answers eventually, I think. But has this sort of exodus from the world of mixed martial arts, has this been something that you wanted to do? Did you think like you needed some time off from the likes of myself, the media and whatnot? Did you want to just sort of hide from us and now return when the movie came out?
No, I'm really not that well thought through. I actually, when I decided, after I got done with the Cyborg fight, I was really bummed, and I went to San Diego for a while. And that's where I got the call to do the movie. And this movie is like taking up a lot of my time. I ended up like starring in it, so I didn't really know how much goes into filming a movie and how much it takes to be the lead of a movie, but I soon found out. And I don't think really a lot of people do. So I forgot your original question, but I hope that answers a little bit of it.
And of course, the movie that she is talking about is Haywire, starring Gina Carano herself, which comes out on January 20th. We will get to the movie in a moment. But first, I want to sort of work chronologically here. August of 2009, of course, you had your fight against Cyborg. We haven't seen you fight since. Can you go back to that moment and how you felt after the fight and just talk about the emotions that you felt after, obviously, the first loss of your career and obviously a very tough loss?
Yeah, I just remember the fight, and I wanted so badly to do so well for so many people, and I wanted to do so much in that fight. And in the fight, I think I had an adrenaline dump, or I just wasn't myself, and I think a lot of people saw that, which was very kind of like throws you off, like you feel like the rug is pulled out from underneath you. And I trained so hard for that fight. I was in the best shape I've ever been in, and so that was really kind of devastating. But after the fight, I was really just kind of like, what the hell just happened? And I didn't really have a lot of time to like focus on it, because then I got that opportunity immediately. And so really, I've just been kind of learning in this last year, now that everything's settled down from the movie and everything, what I want to do, who I want to be, those kinds of things.
If you did not get the movie opportunity when you did after the fight, do you think you would have fought more in MMA? Do you think you would have came back?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I actually was going to try to come back this last year, and I trained up with Greg Jackson and his team, which is, I'm losing my voice, probably one of the best experiences I've ever had training. Greg Jackson is phenomenal, and I love him and that whole family up there. But then I got ill a little bit, and I wasn't able to fight, so I don't know. Now I'm promoting the movie and trying to get that out there, and it comes out January 20th, and I'm really just happy to be on the other side of it finally. Eventually, after January 20th comes along.
Your last impression in the sport, though, was that loss. How anxious have you been, or did you even get that desire to sort of rectify the situation and not have the most recent fight on your record be a loss?
I don't think my ego works like that. I kind of wish it did, because then maybe I would have been a better fighter. But what it has happened is I've kind of gotten more comfortable, like, watching fights, and like, people don't know a lot about me when it comes to watching fights, but I used to get so excited about them that I couldn't really watch them. And so now I'm actually kind of growing into where I can get excited and handle it and like really kind of study it. And I really just think I'm a late bloomer in a lot of ways. And I feel like I got pushed out there really fast, and I almost too fast. So I'm only 29, which to some people might seem old, but to me in my head I'm still ready to go.
That was actually my next question. In hindsight, do you wish things would have, happened a little more slowly for you with the CBS and Elite XC and then Strikeforce? Would you have rather maybe spread things out over a couple more years?
No, I mean, this was obviously God's plan to kind of show me, what life's about. And I've gotten some of the most beautiful experiences that a person can possibly ask for. So I'm not at all complaining. Like, I got pushed out fast, and I got to pave some, a beautiful way. And there's a lot of great female MMA fighters out there right now, and there will be more in the future. And I've absolutely adored being, one of those people that's helped that out.
You never starred in a movie prior to this opportunity. How did you even get this shot? And not just some, straight to DVD release. This is Steven Soderbergh. This is major. This is a major motion picture with major names. How did you even get that opportunity?
I don't know. I think that, he saw me, and he saw me fighting, doing something that I was passionate about and that I loved, and that I still love. And he wanted to give me an opportunity.
Did you have to audition, or did he write the movie for you, or did someone write the movie for you?
He wrote it for me, like, with the idea in mind that it would be a character that was, like, close to me, that I could understand. But it ends up being not a character that I understood at all, because she's organized and she's strict and she's kind of an alpha female, and I'm like, oh, I'm nothing like that. But he met me, and then, I had a 4-hour, lunch with him, and afterwards he was like, do you want to do a movie with me? And I was like, okay.
Did you feel comfortable acting? Because in the past you have been a little shy in front of the camera. You haven't really gone out there and tried to get media for yourself. It just sort of came to you. So doing a movie, obviously it's not dealing with media, so to speak, but there's a lot of cameras, a lot of pressure. You're dealing with other actors and whatnot. Did you feel comfortable right away doing that, or did it take some time to really get comfortable in front of the camera?
I think the beautiful thing about acting is, one, you don't have to be yourself, so you're not exposing yourself like, I am right now. And then two, like, you can do it over and over and over, and your chemistry with the person works out a certain way, and you have somebody there with a bigger vision, kind of like a coach is to MMA. You have a director there telling you what his vision is for it, And really, if a movie works out or doesn't work out, it's more about the director. It's not really even about some of the actors, So, and he surrounded me with Steven Soderbergh surrounded me with a really comfortable cast and crew. So it was really kind of like more comfortable.
Have you watched the movie?
Yeah, I almost didn't, because it was just, everything about that movie has been so close to my heart. Like, I remember every single day of that movie, because it was incredible. But I don't want to watch myself on screen.
Did you do your own stunts?
Yeah.
I hope you did.
That's the whole reason why I got the movie, is because I can do everything. So, yeah.
So you were cheap, basically.
Yeah. I'm cheap.
But no stunt double, right?
Myself. No stunt double. She actually did one thing in the movie, and she's this beautiful, she's a gymnast, but for insurance purposes, some actors aren't allowed to do all their own stunts, so I can say I probably did like 98%.
Now, is there a chance, and we hope certainly for your sake, that this movie is a box office hit and it gets tons of awards and everyone loves it and everyone loves you in the movie? Is there a chance that you just keep riding this train and never come back to MMA?
I don't know. I think that, acting is something that I would love to get to know better, and, movies are definitely something that you can do long term, but I don't really have an answer to that right now, and I'm not going to force one, because one thing I know, you can't force anything. As much as, I'd love for this movie to be a great hit, you can't force that. And as much as I'd love to be the, best female MMA fighter in the world, I can't force that. It's got to, it's got to come from somewhere pure, and it's got to happen not because you're forcing it. So I'm a big fan of not forcing myself down people's throats. That's why I don't ever so it'll happen how it does. And yeah.
So that's why you're so hard to reach.
No, I'm hard to reach, because I just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really like to overexpose myself, I guess,
Well, you've certainly done a great job of not doing that over the last 2.5 years. I will say that. I'm just wondering, you mentioned in June that you were this close to coming back. Strikeforce in Dallas, you didn't fight. Why didn't you fight?
I had some personal issues. So I had to take care of it. And, I know everybody's trying to get the answer. I hope that people just let that go. So, it was, I couldn't fight. And
I remember talking to you in April of 2009, and this was between Elite XC and Strikeforce when Strikeforce bought their contracts, and you were talking about how deep down you would love to fight for Zuffa. You felt like the Zuffa machine could really put you out there, and it would be a great opportunity. Now Strikeforce is owned by Zuffa. So when you found out that Strikeforce was purchased by Zuffa, did that sort of light a fire under you? This was the opportunity that you were trying to get a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and it's also kind of interesting, because I always thought it would happen. And I'm still holding on to kind of a dream that women will fight in the UFC. So I don't understand why they don't just put a super fight on between two females, that people really want to see fight, and there's so many great females out there now. So, oh yeah, it's still a dream.
It seems like the female who has sort of taken your spot as the new face of women's MMA is Ronda Rousey. I'm wondering if you know anything of Ronda Rousey. Have you watched her, and do you like what she's doing? Sort of taking a different approach than you. She's brash. She says what's on her mind. She's okay with being in front of the camera. She sort of plays the heel role, so to speak, like Chael Sonnen. Do you like what she's been doing as of late?
Absolutely. I think she's wonderful. I think she's she's talented. She's so talented, and to have somebody in our sport from the Olympics, I think is a really big deal. So I have a lot of respect for her, and I think she's wonderful for us in the sport. And not like one of her fights has gone out of like the first round.
First minute.
The first minute of the first round. That's incredible, and that's awesome that our sport is attracting people like that.
She and Misha Tate have been arguing about something as of late publicly about whether looks as a female fighter could really advance your career more than just your overall talent. What do you make of that? Of course, you've been labeled as such, and people have said that you got by early on because of how you look. Do you feel as though you need to be a good-looking person if you are a female fighter in order to really get the attention and the opportunities that the men will get just based on their talent alone?
See, I'm probably the wrong person to ask about this, but I kind of feel like everybody's been given gifts, and if people stop wanting other people's gifts and being greedy, and they just focus on the gifts that they were given, sometimes it's like beautiful eyes, sometimes a great smile, sometimes it's a very athletic body, nice butt, great boobs, I don't know, and then personality-wise, like character-wise, like sometimes people are gentle and a little bit shyer, and then sometimes people are brass and like very forward, and then sometimes like there's all sorts of different types of people. So I think that I think everybody's special, and everybody just like, of course the media wants to focus on sex sells, but I'm just not a believer in that. And but I'm not afraid to take a nice sexy photo either. I'm okay with that, and I'm not trying to run from being female, but so I just think that everybody just focuses on what they're good at, and maybe if the media focused on that a little bit more instead of like blowing up, sex sells all the time. I think this world's moving past sex sells a lot. I think we're getting to the point where you have to look deeper into a person, and maybe that's just me hoping, but.
All right, so the movie comes out January 20th. Well, on that note, what is next for you after the movie? Do you have a plan? Is there something already lined up? Often we know in the movie business, at least they tell me, you have a next project already lined up before the first one has been completed. So is there something already lined up, or are you going to wait to see how this does?
We do have a lot of opportunity and a lot of things that we're looking at. And really, I just honestly cannot wait to get on the other side of it. I really do. I want to get on the other side of January 20th and really just kind of sit down and see what Gina really wants to do.
What do you mean by other side? To just put this behind you and let the people...
It's been a 2-year deal, and it's given me some time with my family, and it's given me a lot of time to figure a lot of things out. And so I'm definitely still the same person, just maybe with a little bit more knowledge about like how to be healthy and how to love myself a little bit better, than I was when I was 2 years ago.
If I were a betting man, should I put money on Gina returning to MMA at some point?
Are you a betting man?
I am not, but that's why I haven't put money on it. But I do wonder and ponder this question. I think a lot of people do, and I think a lot of people would like to see you back. So I'm trying to give them some sort of answer. Will you come back? In your heart of hearts, do you believe you will come back at some point?
We'll see. I don't know. I really don't have an answer. I think after January 20th, we'll know a lot more. But don't make any bets. I mean, even if you're betting against me, I'm not going to be back. Betting's bad. Every time I bet for somebody, I lose.
Right. Well, we're not advocating that, but we were just trying to get an answer there. And usually when you put it in the betting context, people will open up.
Whenever I try not to tell people who I'm going for. Like I said I was going for Alistair Overeem tonight, but watch, he's probably going to lose now because I said I was going for him. That happens so much.
All right. Well, the good news is we finally found you. Hopefully it won't be another 2.5 years before we see you again. We wish you...
congratulations to you. You're doing so good.
I'm not in a movie. I'm exactly in the same spot that I was 2.5 years ago.
Look at you. You're like 2 years, grown up into yourself. It's beautiful.
I'm all grown up. I got facial hair now.
Yeah. I hear about you all the time, too. I'm like... We had a moment once.
We did with the mic.
Yeah.
I sent you a clip about that. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was incredible.
That was the turning point for me. As I said in the clip, if people don't know, I was doing an interview with Gina prior to her first fight on CBS, and I was kind of down on my confidence, and I didn't think I could do this. And Gina sort of, in a weird way, gave me that confidence, so I thanked you publicly, and I appreciate it. And that's why we wanted to talk to you, and that's why I'm very happy that we were able to finally locate Miss Gina Carano. The movie comes out on January 20th. It is called Haywire. Check it out. Directed by award-winning director Steven Soderbergh, and a lot of big names are also in the film, but it is starring our very own Gina Carano. Thank you so much for the time. Congratulations and good luck with the movie.
I'm giving you a hug.
Oh wow, look at this. My lucky day.